Now, if you need to build strength in the lockout of your deadlift, this exercise is going to be exactly what you need. In addition, it's actually going to help with shoulder blade retraction strength in the barbell bench press. So it's basically a dual exercise for assisting two of the major movements in your arsenal. So this one is done in the power rack, and it is very similar looking to a rack pull, only it's actually much more applicable to an actual deadlift than a rack pull. Now, if you've ever seen an ugly rack pull done basically with a whole pile of weight on the bar, you know what I'm talking about, because it's actually not that applicable to a regular deadlift. It's great if you're just looking to put a lot of weight onto your body, that's fine, but if you're doing one of these rack pulls and you bend your knees and get your legs underneath the bar, then you're basically leveraging the bar up to get that bar off the rails, kind of like this, and then like that. Now, does it put a lot of weight, load on your body? Absolutely. Is it applicable to the actual lockout of the deadlift? Not so much. Because if you think about it, when you're doing a regular deadlift, if your knees are actually still bent when you come to this position, then you're doing it wrong. If you do an actual deadlift, you're coming up here, your knees start by extending. So your knees are extending like that, and then the top position is hip extension and lumbar extension. So if you're basically at the point where you're doing this, then you're basically dragging the weight up and around your knees, and then you're standing up with it, which is really not a deadlift. It's like an ugly squat with the bar dragging up your knees. Now, what this exercise is going to do is put you in the actual position of the top of a deadlift, which is essentially a stiff-legged deadlift. So what we're going to do here, get your feet underneath the bar, straighten the knees up, pull your shoulder blades into that retracted position. So this is really the key here, and I'll give you a back view here as well, but essentially you want your knees to be mostly straight, a little bit soft, a little stiff, and then grip on the bar hard, and then pull your torso down. So pull your chest down towards the bar and really squeeze the lats, squeeze the upper back so that you're getting those shoulder blades tight behind you. Then what you're going to do is lift the bar off the rails. So get in position, pull down and squeeze, and then now you're hitting that position. As you can see, this is more applicable to what actually happens in a deadlift because your legs are straighter. A lot of that loading is going right into the upper back. Now in a regular deadlift, it is a little bit different as far as the arms being pulled forward. So if you're doing a regular deadlift, you're not necessarily holding that retracted position. But in order to try and maintain that thoracic position, which is your upper back, and not let it round over too much, this is one of the reasons we're going to train with those shoulder blades pulled back. So it's going to actually specifically strengthen that. So once you get into heavier loads on your deadlifting, it's going to give you the strength to help maintain that upper back position while you're doing the exercise. Now, I'll give you a view from the back here as well. So again, grip on the bar, feet under the bar, get some tension, and then pull. And set the bar down fully on the rails at the bottom of each rep. Reset your back position. So grip on. Now you can use a lot more weight for this. You get up into like 400 or 500 pounds when you're doing these, potentially more if you're a stronger deadlifter. And that load is going right into the upper back with that retraction. It's a fantastic way to develop upper back strength and power specific to the deadlift. And basically that lockout is going to get trained very, 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 very effectively as well.